back. We are the Horror Bros. My name is Ed.
And I am Logan.
We are just two bros making each other watch horror movies.
Yep.
And what did we have today, Logan?
Today we had Hell House LLC from 2015, directed by the director of My Nightmares, Stephen Cognetti.
Lovely.
Lovely.
What happened that night at the Abaddon Hotel? What is that?
It's everything.
Sarah, have you watched those?
No.
So you have no idea what's on them?
How beautiful is this?
Hell House.
Look, there it is.
Here we go. What was that?
I don't know.
You have heard the rumors about this.
There are no
What
rumors about
rumors?
this
What?
place. No rumors. We talked about this.
It's supposed to be haunted.
All right, dude, lock me in. Hold it.
Godspeed.
Hey, man. How many freaks did we have?
3 freaks. What's going on?
Are you sure?
5. Tony, let me out! Let me out, Tony!
It was when we started sleeping there that things started to change.
Back. You heard that, right? I'm telling you, we have to call it off right now.
We have no business being here. Alex is more confident than ever.
I think we're next.
Go back up! Go back up! Hurry! Hurry!
Be advised, spoilers for pretty much every single movie that me and Ed have ever seen. Hell House, all 3 movies. Yeah, if you don't want to get spoilers for pretty much any movie. Yeah.
Why are hotels creepy? Haunted hotels, or just weird hotels, are a recurring theme in American horror movies. Now, I'm personally not scared of hotels, but I do have a theory of why people think that they're scary. I believe it's just the fact that they're a liminal space. Liminal is an English adjective meaning on the threshold, which comes from a Latin word limen. Liminality has The word liminal has multiple definitions. It can refer to the quality of ambiguity or disorientation that occurs in the middle stage of a rite of passage, or it can also refer to a liminal deity, which is a god or goddess that presides over thresholds, gates, or doorways. And it can also refer to a liminal being of ambiguous existence. But my personal favorite definition is that the adjective liminal refers to an in-between space, a place that only exists to be passed through, like an airport or a road or a train station. You don't stay in those places. They're meant to be passed through, so that when you stand still in that space, we feel uncomfortable and disoriented. And that's something that I thought of because Hell House 2015's Hell House LLC basically is another haunted hotel movie that is turned into a haunted house. Now, Logan, have you ever been in a haunted house?
I have not. I want to. I was such a scared kid, but now that I've gotten into horror movies, I'm like, I want to go to one of these. I would be so pumped.
I've only been in one once, and it was kind of on accident because, as you know, I don't like jump scares. Basically, I was at a youth retreat, and we went to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and the morning was really fun. We did a bunch of rides, but then in the afternoon, it got more, the park got more crowded, and I didn't want to totally go off on my own. And so I was basically like following around the pack of people, and they couldn't decide where they wanted to go or what they wanted to do. So they got in line for something, and I was like, I don't even care. I don't even care what it is. I just want to actually do something instead of just wandering around this park. So, it was a haunted house, and I did not enjoy it. But at least I can say that I've been to one. And I know they're not my cup of tea. But yeah, I was thinking, like, Logan, how have you, I mean, that must be totally your thing, actually.
In theory, I would love it, so just wait until Halloween rolls around and I'm just gonna knock them out like penny candy. That's not a metaphor, but, I'm gonna make it a metaphor.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bam, bam, bam. I would have so much fun. But, whew, this haunted house. Okay, so...
Now...
yeah.
So I think... I want to try to strike a balance between what you were talking about and me doing a play-by-play. Do you want to break it up into, like, 3 chunks? So, like, setup, build up, and payoff, basically?
Yeah. But first, I'm going to go ahead and say, welcome, listeners, to the Found Footage Show with Logan, where I make Ed watch found footage movies, against our will. And I think we've got big news today. Ed, if you could tell them what you told me about your opinion of this movie.
I didn't mind it, actually.
That's a huge win.
Now, I don't know if that's just because, like, maybe I'm getting more used to how found footage works, or if that's because there was just so much, like, Halloween shit and spooky shit that I was like, oh, this is fun. I love Halloween decorations. Yeah. And maybe because, like, a lot of it I felt, if not predictable, I'm like, okay, I've seen this before, or, oh, I can kind of see where they're going with this. So it wasn't as scary. There were moments that were scary, but I wasn't, like, I don't know, counting down the minutes like I was at Paranormal Activity, so...
Now, this movie, Hell House LLC, is the first mockumentary found footage film that we have.
I don't think it's a mockumentary, though.
No. This is where we fill out the bingo card for Logan over-explaining found footage. But I'm going to go ahead and, the 2 movies that we've covered that are found footage on this podcast, Hell House and Grave Encounters, there is footage that is captured in the process of making a movie, a documentary, etc., etc. That is your Grave Encounters. That is your Blair Witch Project. And the end product is not a mockumentary. It is like a movie, a found footage movie.
It's a documentary.
And they're not doing interviews. It's not. It's not. The final product is not what they intended it to be. And it's not, like, put together. There's no music that's added on. And then you have a Hell House where you have footage that is compiled to create a mockumentary. And yeah, it doesn't really play like a documentary most of the time, but with the interviews, the 911 call, etc., 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 all of the, framing device that it has, that's mockumentary. Now that's kind of like a Poughkeepsie Tapes is a mockumentary. It is seriously a mockumentary because so much of it is interviews. And on the other hand, your Blair Witch Project, Grave Encounters, The Last Exorcism is actually a mockumentary.
I think I'm a bit unclear on the definition of mockumentary, because when you say mockumentary, I think What We Do in the Shadows, which is people talking to the camera. It's comedic. We're making a documentary, but we're making fun of documentaries. And also, like, we're totally making shit up as we go. This is not a real story.
Well, yes, but
This one struck me as, like, okay, looking at the movie as a final product. It's a documentary about something fictional.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's serious about itself. It's not making fun of itself.
A mockumentary is not necessarily like satirical. I would say it's more of, this is a documentary of something that didn't actually happen.
Fictional documentary? Maybe there's a term
A fictional
for this.
document.
Maybe someone has a term for this.
But that's what that's what I was saying is mockumentary is a documentary of something that's not real. Not mock as in satirical, mock as in like a mock.
As in, like, it's mock as in it's not
mock.
It's not true.
It's not real.
Okay.
Mock demonstration.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
I just have to go, like, maybe clarify my terminology.
Yeah. But the thing with a movie like Hell House is the final product is a documentary, and yes, it is mostly just video clips, just, spliced together as in any movie. But the distinction between Grave Encounters is Grave Encounters starts with like a little, hey, I'm the producer. All of this is real. But the story is entirely just that video. It's not interviews. It's not, like outside. It's not the still footage where it slowly pans in on the footage, the still.
It's not the Ken Burns effect.
It's not a Ken Burns. So it doesn't. Hell House pulls you out of the story multiple times to give you like incidents that happened after, before, and give you context.
There's definitely some non-diegetic music added in parts,
which I do love. The music is awesomely creepy.
Cheesy ass stock music in here. Some of it,
yeah, but it's fun.
Some of it in times is a little funny.
Yeah. To break this into parts.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So, like, okay, Rising Action is, we are given this documentary, and it's intercut with video of Diane Graves and, I wrote down the other character's name. Diane and Jonathan going into the hotel. But it gives you information on, there was this disaster at a haunted house in Abaddon, New York. And, there's a YouTube video of people walking through it, and there's a 911 call. And there are interviews with, like, a photographer and a journalist about the fact that no one knows what's going on and what happened there. And the city, like, wrapped it up very quickly. They NDA on everybody. No one was going to talk. The city made sure no one was going to talk about this. Yeah.
So the way that I was going to break this up into like 3 acts is I was going to, Act 1 is up until the point that the footage is found. And we switched to being majority found footage.
Yeah.
And then I was going to start Act 3 on opening night. And that's when we also start the more cutting back and forth between the interviews and the original footage. That's how I was going to split it up, because that's roughly first act is setup, second act is build up, and third act is payoff.
Yeah.
So in our first act, we set up, okay, there's these group of young people. I really hope that you have some of these names down, because I was struggling.
I have written all of these names down. So to introduce everybody, we have the big dog Alex, who started Hell House LLC. We have his best friend Tony, his girlfriend Sarah, and then Mac and Paul. And Paul is our primary videographer. And then on our team of documentarians, we have Mitchell Kavanaugh, Diane Graves, and Jonathan. Jonathan doesn't need a last name.
No, I forgot
because
about him.
Mitchell Cavanaugh comes back in the sequel. That's why I know his name so well. And then in the second act, I'm going to go ahead and say that in the second act we have some actors that come in to be scare actors. Joey and Melissa. There is Sam, but she's not important.
Yeah, the actors really disappear for like most of Act 2, if not, like, they're barely in it.
Yeah, Melissa's really the only one who gets actual involvement in the story.
Barely, but still, it's still not a lot. She still disappears for like a while.
Like in the actual haunted house itself, they have a bartender. They have, they said they don't get moving scares. So everything you see moving has to be an actor, right? So there's the little guy who jumps out at you. There's, I'm assuming Sam is the like door greeter. So we've got a lot of actors that aren't accounted for in this movie, but that's not important.
There's a lot of bodies not accounted for in this movie, just in general. And that's some of what my questions were.
I know I'm very, very bad at keeping track of characters.
Well, I think these movies just don't lend themselves to that.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, it hindered me a little bit. I could keep Sarah straight. Well, I mean she
yeah.
is like the only woman, so
the only lady.
Yep. She's also cute, and she reminds me of Shelley from Twin Peaks, who's cute.
Not Twin Peaks, no.
That should be on the bingo board, is I mentioned Twin Peaks.
And I say no.
Logan says no. And on a separate bingo block is me mentioning Evil Dead, so.
And me saying,
Oh, just you wait.
So.
Anyway, so the setup, we start off with basically setting up, okay, there was some kind of event happened at this haunted house at the Abaddon Hotel, and this is in rural New York. And no one knows what happened. There were people injured and there were fatalities, but no one knew what happened.
Yeah.
There's a 911 call, there's a YouTube video, and both of those give us some idea of what the situation was, but it doesn't tell us like, okay, what was the what went down. It doesn't tell us what went wrong.
Yeah.
The video does provide a nice run through of the house, going through the course of the haunted house. I didn't do the greatest job of keeping track. But it gives us the like, okay, we go this room, this room, this room, and there's a creepy fucking basement staircase that people are all rushing to get out of. That's kind of the most that we know at this point in the first act.
I will say the Abaddon Hotel is like no hotel ever. Like it's not even a hotel. It is the most closed floor plan I've ever seen in a building. And like I don't even know where the rooms are. I guess where the rooms that they're staying in.
There's no rooms.
Like this is like a house.
It's just hallways.
I went through, I think in like February this year, and I watched all 3 Hell House movies. And
You know there's 5, right? You know there's 5 movies, right?
The 3 that I could get access to, because the other ones are on Shudder. These I went through and I tried to figure out where the hell everything was.
I want to clarify for the audience. He is holding up to me a note. Hold it up to me again. He's like drawn out a floor plan / diagram of the hotel, which I mean it's frankly impressive. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that for the audience.
Yeah,
who can't see it.
Because there was a shot in the second act where he's walking through where Paul is walking through the house, so that was really, really helpful. And on rewatch, I realized that one of these hallways is a 90-degree angle, so that doesn't help at all. But I think the claustrophobia of this movie really, really, of the hotel really helps this movie and the scares, because it's never. You could say it's kind of a liminal space, but nothing ever feels like certain. You don't know where you are. You don't know exactly where they're going to end up next if they go through this door. And the thing with the what I figured out was the guest entrance and the basement door are basically right next to each other. There's a little door that goes from the guest entrance to the basement hallway, and then or to the hallway that has the basement stairs, and then to the bar. So they end up taking a full loop around the house and ending up basically where they began. Yeah.
I can tell you that it is effectively disorienting because they go through this route so many times in this movie, and I still could not exactly get it straight of, oh, it's this, and then this, and then this, and then this. I just thought, okay, these exist. I still don't have it straight of what directly leads to what.
Yeah. I can't, no.
So, it's effective.
Yep.
I should tell you now that one of my professors this semester, he doesn't, when we're giving feedback, he doesn't allow us to say good or I liked it. We're supposed to say effective. What matters more is was it effective or was it not effective? Is more how you should give how to give feedback rather than I liked it, I didn't like it, it was good, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So that's stuck in my brain now.
Yeah, it's like not saying interesting.
So, we have an interview with Sarah.
Sarah Havel, yep.
Yeah, who's the girlfriend of Alex. Diane is interviewing her with some loaded ass questions. I mean, maybe they're common knowledge, but also they're loaded as fuck. So
Yeah,
I didn't realize this, but Sarah is our final girl, basically.
Technically, yes. Yes, you're right.
Technically.
And she's
However,
the only survivor of the 5 Hell House LLC members.
yeah, I don't. She's barely a character. Other than that, I say she definitely qualifies because as the lone survivor, she is a final girl. Like that's enough to qualify you in my head. But she disappears for so much of this movie and is a rather passive if she's even there.
On third watch, I had a theory about Sarah that I can explain more in more detail later. I do have to add, I've seen Hell House 2, the Abaddon Hell House 2, Lake of Fire, and Hell House 3, the Abaddon Hotel, or it's one of those. You flip the subtitles, it's basically the same movie. So I have more info on the lore, and when we get to Andrew Tully, I'm going to talk a heck of a lot about him. But
Okay.
Yep. And Sarah is the one who gives us the tapes of but most of the movie is, these tapes.
I have one big nitpick, which I will try to leave here and not bring back because it kind of doesn't come back. Why is there a cover up?
Okay.
Because, in my head, the city doesn't even know any of this. Why would they have an incentive to cover up something that they didn't even know was fucked up?
So, I'm gonna go, I gotta go ahead and talk about it. In the sequel, we are given the kind of one of the wraparound, what's it called, devices, is like a morning news show, like morning mysteries with this person. And we have an interview with Mitchell Cavanaugh from the documentary team, and this random super egotistical ghost hunter, and a member of the local city government. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just spoil all of this for you. Turns out the person who was pretending to be a member of the local government was actually Andrew Tully, back from the dead or whatever. And the whole mechanism of the Abaddon Hotel is... Oh, wait, no, I can't say that because that's not related. But I think Andrew Tully, if he was posing as part of the government, he could have, pulled some strings. But also, it kind of seems like the town is in on it.
Which doesn't make any sense to me!
But, the town is named Abaddon. I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, yes, but, the city or the people in the city are not related to anything that goes down here. What? They're not even involved. We just, from what I see, it's haunted hotel. And this dysfunctional group of people. And that's where shit goes down. The city is not even a character. It's not an actor at all.
They post police officers outside the house to watch it in subsequent movies. Because there's a lot of disappearances at this hotel. So I guess they're trying to keep people out, but people just keep on going into it.
But like,
So
you
they're doing
could
a
just do
crap
that
job.
with a condemned building or whatever.
Or you could like destroy the building.
Like that doesn't make it special to me.
Yeah, I
So-
get it. There are some plot holes in this movie that just aren't explained.
I just wanted to get that out of the way because it really
Yeah.
like it's made out to be a big thing in Act 1, and then you get into Act 2 and you realize, oh, it's totally unrelated and
Yeah.
actually not important
It's
at all.
it's yeah.
Anyway, the footage
It's weird.
is found.
Whoa! I'm loving it. So the second act follows the team as they're building this haunt, and key points from this. Stuff starts getting spooky
Before
when
that.
when they start staying in the house. I was gonna like summarize, but yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
before that, I just want to say I was really unclear on why the hell these kids are here. And I did not, like, why was it, like, 30 minutes later before, like, they tell me that, oh, Alex, like, founded this company and he's just doing a new location? Because I was so confused.
It's a company. They're a haunted house company.
Maybe it's because they're all so young
I mean, they're in their 20s.
that, like, Alex doesn't seem to be, like, he doesn't stick out as, oh, here's a person who runs a company and he's, like, a leader who decided to do this. That was not getting through to me at all for a good while. And maybe that's because all these people are roughly the same with few distinguishing characteristics.
I always
One is a
confuse Mac
girl.
and Tony. There's a girl.
Wild.
There's a
And one is a fucking creep with a camera.
yeah. One is an absolute creep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do gotta say though, Paul gives us some of the greatest scares in the movie.
I mean, yes, later,
That's nothing.
but like
That is no benefit to him. No.
when he's alive, he's a piece of
He's
shit.
a creep. He's a absolute creep.
Uh,
Which is a different movie. We're not talking about creep.
Yeah. Also, it's 2009, baby. Which doesn't come up a lot, but, you know, I'm just celebrating. You know, it's 2000s, which I have a very love-hate affection relationship with. I did enjoy seeing a 2009 flip phone at one point.
Yep. Yeah.
So they arrive at the Abaddon Hotel, and it's boarded up, condemned. There's no electricity.
It smells like old sweaters.
Yep. Musty as
That's the one that
hell.
stuck out to me. Musty as hell.
Yeah. And Alex is like, hey, this is going to add so much free production value.
Yeah, come
And
on.
that is the most film major thing to say ever. And he's not even wrong.
Yeah.
I love behind the scenes stories from the Evil Dead franchise because it's literally the situation where the bunch of 20-year-olds were like, okay, I have a rough script. Let's make something. We're going to just go out into the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, and here's a cabin. It may be covered in animal shit, but, you know, it's what we got, and it was cheap, and that's what we're going to use.
Yeah.
So it's very much a real thing. That was very believable to me.
There's definitely, they don't talk about it much in the first movie, and it's hinted at. Hell House LLC does not seem to be overflowing with money. They're definitely poor, or, I mean, in terms of the company, poor, if not in debt. So, the fact that they probably got this, the rights to this building, the permits or whatever.
That's another one of
very
my a bigger gripe that I have with this movie when shit starts going down is we never established stakes. Like, I feel like, you know, it's the three pillars of writing is conflict, motivation, and stakes. And deadlines. Actually, those are all significant things that like pretty much every story should have. If you're aiming for a conventional Hollywood story, and this sets up, okay, we have a timeline. Great, we have a goal. We have a clear goal that we're all working towards. There was no stakes because at the point when Tony is walking out and he's like, oh wait, I can't leave, and I'm like, why? There is literally no reason why you cannot just walk away.
They are given absolutely no reason. Or they never explain what the secret is. that keeps Tony at the hotel.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Because I was like,
No.
I was like rewinding, like,
No,
what did I miss?
They never tell.
That's lame. That's weak sauce.
I was watching the kill count on this video. I don't think even Alex's actor knew. Like, he wasn't told. It's just like, oh, he has to stay, and he stays. Because, I can't believe you didn't tell me. I can't believe you didn't tell me. I can't believe, and it's like, there's a line in there when he's talking with Mac. Oh, you know, he's not telling Sarah, he's not telling Paul. And the creepiest thing is, why he's not telling Paul.
See, yeah, that whole thing just falls flat to me. That whole thing, like, falls flat because I'm like, you're okay. If you are not telling me, the audience, the reason, basically you're saying there's no reason, basically. So I still think that you can just walk away.
See, that's what I'm saying. Don't do a plot synopsis or like a plot step-by-step thing, because it's not important. The plot is not important. The point is, we've got people with video cameras in a scary place. That's the whole point of the story. When you start digging into the lore's pretty good, but it sucks.
I'm not digging very far. This is surface level digging. This is me running a finger over the surface of the mantle. And that's how deep I'm digging.
I mean, it's found footage, alright? If you start digging too deep, you're gonna start.
I'm not even digging. I'm reiterating. I'm not even digging.
I know.
Touching.
That's what I'm saying, is don't.
With one finger.
Oh, man.
And look, we are not doing play-by-play on this. We're going much faster than we are.
I think the thing we should focus on, and I'm going to go ahead and point out, there are moments between, like, character stuff that are scares. And I'm going to go ahead and go through those. So, the first scare we get is Paul's in his bedroom talking about how he's lonely and he's never felt the touch of a woman. And,
for the sake of characterization, I feel like I should use some of the words. He's like, oh, we got some new actors coming tomorrow. I sure hope one of them's bonable. He's not even, he's not even wistfully yearning for the lust of a woman. He's like, oh, I just want to fuck him. Like, oh, I just want to fuck my friend's girlfriend, but, he won't share.
He is a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's in his room, he's recording, and he's got the camera facing him, and behind him, he's obviously leaving the door open in the middle of the night.
Why?
Which, like, you are right next to the staircase down to the rest of the house. Sleeping in a haunted house.
I live alone and I close my door.
I don't get it. And, like, Paranormal Activity, why are you leaving the door open? Why? I do not understand. Why in all these movies do you insist on leaving the door open?
You only leave the door open if you are 5 years old and there's a nightlight on and your mom is in another room. That is the only situation you have your door open. Otherwise, if you are a grown-ass adult, you close your fucking door.
If you're not in the room, leave the door open. If you're in the room, why?
If you're sleeping in the room, you better fucking close the door.
Yeah, but all we have is the light from the exit sign outside of his room, the emergency exit, and this red light.
Spooky red light, which is one of my favorite things ever.
Yep. We see a shadow start to move into the room. It's in the shape of a person with, like, some wild hair. And he doesn't notice for a long time. He has the situational awareness of, I don't know, an ant. He doesn't have it. It's not there.
He's looking at himself on the screen and he doesn't even see it. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. And he turns around and he's like, who is this? It's one of the team members. Oh, you're messing with me, right? The thing walks out and he's like, that was weird. And it's so freaking creepy. And it's terrifying and I love it. But he's like,
is this the point when I can say this is white people shit?
Like, no sense of, like, okay, what the hell, guys?
This movie is very high on the white people shit.
Yeah. There are a couple times in this movie where they just straight up rewind to show you the scares. There's one where someone's holding the camera, like, off to the side, and they're walking, and they, like, pass a room, and they rewind and show you that there is a shadowy figure in the room. and like that was just kind of weak sauce.
Like,
but
it's okay. I saw it.
I didn't see it, but I think the time I enjoyed it was during the strobe scene. There's like a scene where they're testing out.
That was helpful.
A hallway strobe scene, and they're like,
with the world's slowest strobe at like 6 times a minute.
Yeah, like, oh, there's somebody else in the room with me. How many mannequins do we have? 3. Are you sure? Because I'm seeing 4. And
that was nice and spooky.
It's nice and spooky. Like, the first time I watched it, I like averted my eyes. I didn't even see what happened until like they gave me the replay to rewind.
I think that moment was one where I think I enjoyed it more having seen more horror movies, because like strobe light and the thing that is coming closer to you, I think is scary. I think it's scary.
Yeah.
But also like now I'm like, oh, ooh, kind of fun. Also because I really love like high contrast lighting and colored lighting and stuff. So
nerd.
I do want to touch on
Yeah, no, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say that the creature or the whatever it is doesn't stay there. Like, for one flash it is there, and for another flash it isn't there. Mm-hmm. So it's never like, it's not like you can like get a beat on it, and it's like one flash, oh, I see something. The second flash, oh, that's where it is. I can tell where it is.
Yeah, like it's moved. It's come closer.
Especially when like he starts banging on the door and looking back, and looking at a figure coming down the hallway. Mm-hmm. In replay, like, they freeze frame it, and they're like, okay, this is... And I was like, yeah, no. And compare it to the previous hallway. This is the hallway before. This is the hallway after. As you can see, after there is a dude there. And before, there was not a dude there. So scary.
There's a lot of that kind of scare, especially, like, after this point of, oh, you look at something, okay, it's there. You look at something else, you look back, same shot, and the thing is moved. That kind of... It was like that short film, about the box.
What part?
Well, I'm trying to remember the exact title.
Other Side of the Box?
Yeah, it's like Other Side of the Box, where like you have to keep your eyes on it because it can only move when you're looking away.
Yep. Which they do play with that in the second movie. But I mean, I can go ahead. Oh, I can overthink. I can overtalk this.
I wanted to make sure that we touched on the security cameras. So Alex and one of the other guys, so they have they have a little security room, and they have about 15 cameras, looking at rooms all around the house. And the problem is, apparently they can't get video signal from the basement. Yeah. And we already know, as the audience at this point, that the basement is the locus of the horror.
Yep.
Or that's when shit is going to go down.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, one guy's like, yeah, that's a liability. No shit. And so their plan is to have an undercover clown, just,
as a bouncer.
Yeah, basically, like, oh, a security guy, have our one of our scare actors be the security in case people get rowdy or whatever. You can see how long that lasts.
Yep. And also, he's the guy that we picked up at the gas station. That we don't even know if he worked at the gas station.
He was just there.
Or if he was just there for his free time, or hanging out in his free time.
What if he was just chilling?
In addition, we are going to actually lock this woman in chains in the basement. With one key. With only one key. And we're going to give that one key to the random man we met at the gas station.
If I had a nickel for every workplace safety violation in this movie, I could build a new Abaddon hotel.
Yep, you could.
And so I should not even list all of them. But the thing is, I expected there to be more about Joey, and then there wasn't. So we have, he's gonna be the clown. We got our spooky zoom in on the photo of him. He's a big guy, and he's going to be the clown in the basement watching over Melissa, who's going to be our scare actress.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that this movie gives me that anything is off with Joey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to defend Joey. We know that he runs out of the basement pretty soon, and he has
with the only key. Yeah.
which I'm not going to blame him for. It's the fact they only had one key and they actually locked the woman up. That's the problem. I'm not blaming Joey for getting the fuck out. So I think Joey is blameless in my book.
Yeah. He's like the Upham, if you've seen Saving Private Ryan. Upham, like everyone, apparently he gets a lot of hate because like someone was dying and he didn't help. But this is like, dude, we're in the middle of war. This dude is watching his friends die. I think if he freezes for a couple seconds, he's justified.
There's a much bigger problem we have than just the one person making a self-preserving decision.
Yeah. Which, honestly, props to him for actually getting out.
The issue is with the leadership and the situation that we were put in.
Yeah.
The actors arrive, we meet Melissa and Joey, and apparently there's another actress who is apparently not important whatsoever. She's
not important, we don't need to know. The big sequence, I think the most famous, or at least the most influential sequence of this movie is Paul is going through the house with the video camera, being kind of the weirdo that he is. He's just kind of, chilling out. He's like saying hi to this one guy. Hey, where's Tony? Oh, he's over there. And who is it? Alex and Sarah are out of the house. And so he's, kind of doing a tour of the house. And he comes to the top of the stairs and he finds the clown. And, he's like, oh, Tony, man, he's assuming somebody else is messing with him. Oh, what are you looking at? He looks down the basement, he looks back up, and the dummy's head has moved, turned towards him. And he's like, whew, that's spooky. And then he walks back. And when he walks back, he finds that the person he thought was messing with him is at the front of the house, nowhere near where this happened. And for me, the most terrifying part of this sequence is him, since I know kind of how the hallways are laid out, is him walking back and forth between, because something's going on. The clown has moved, and he's like, oh, dang, somebody's messing with me. And he like turns his back to the clown, and I'm like, no! And he walks around, and he, sees that the person is not where he thought they would be. And so he runs back, and I'm like, what are you thinking? And he goes into the basement, and the clown is in the basement. It was at the top of the stairs 5 seconds ago. And then he was like, what the hell? And he runs back upstairs, and I'm like, oh my god, don't do that. Oh my god.
This is where I come to the issue of bodies not accounted for, because I'm sitting here like, oh, that's Joey, right? The person who was designated to be in a clown costume, right?
No. He is in a different clown costume than the one that we see on the mannequin.
So, either I missed that, or the movie did not clarify that, because I'm like, oh, it's just one of your scare actors.
Well, they have a scene where they're talking about the dummies, and the clown is like in the row of dummies, and they're talking about, oh, how this is a dummy, and the dummy's head doesn't move. And like, so yeah, I kind of think you missed that.
But it's a mask. They said it was a mask. The mask doesn't move. So I thought, oh, it's a mask, meaning you can put it on a person.
Yeah, true.
So it's really unclear.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if this is before or after the actors show up.
According to my notes, it's after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So that kind of dampened my scare factor, because I was like, I don't even know what bodies are in this building right now. So, like, what if it's, like, just some guy? Because...
some dude.
It's just, like, one of the guys in the group who I can't, like, tell apart from any of the other ones,
Yep.
But Paul does tell everyone about what he saw, and they watch the video back, and they start playing the blame game of, oh, it was you. Oh, it was you. No, of course it wasn't me. So this is when the lack of trust between these people really gets exposed. And apparently it might have been there from the beginning. I think it was. But this is when the cracks are really showing. Of these people, this is a terrible team on so many levels. Just, like, I don't know these people very well, but I can just see that they're not working together very well. Oh, and apparently there's some long-held grudges.
Yep.
that are unforgiven, and also the leadership is non-existent. That's what we get into at this point. We start descending into this almost thing-like scenario
Yeah.
of not trusting each other. There's definitely something wrong, and we're still gonna pin it on a human because that's what what's where we're at. But
Yeah.
that's kind of how things start descending from this point.
Yep. I think there are two main scenes where people get woken up in the middle of the night and they are walking around. There's one where the clown's at the bottom of the stairwell and they go to return it and then they find Sarah. I'm going to briefly just summarize this.
Sarah's Blair witching in the corner in her sleep.
Yep, and there's another
Blair
one.
witching and whispering things in reverse, which I think it was talking in reverse just because I watched Twin Peaks and I have an idea of what reverse speech sounds like. I still don't know what she said, but
Again, thank you, James A. Janice. It is one of her later lines. Something about when she got to the front door, the police were arriving. About how she got out of the house. It's that line reversed.
Okay.
And then there's another sequence where somebody starts playing the piano in the front room while they're sleeping.
Nice spooky ambient music.
Which, by the way, that song is a modified version of a Meow Mix theme.
A what?
Meow Mix. You know, meow, 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 meow.
Like
meow,
the commercials?
Meow, meow. Like the commercials.
Oh my god.
Meow, 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 meow. It is Meow Mix. It's oh my
like
god.
Generic spooky piano
Yeah.
music, which look, I vibe with. I vibe with that.
Yeah, I'm vibing.
And it's being played by, this husky old guy, Hector, who we are led to believe is a mannequin. He looks like the corpse from Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, and he's sitting there.
Yeah. But this is where my theory comes in of, I think that the hotel chose Sarah somehow. This theory came up on my third rewatch here. Because in the sequels, they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that they need survivors because they want people to go and tell the story and entice more people into the hotel.
Okay.
And you get the moments where, she's staring at a statue outside and, muttering in reverse language in the middle of the night. And Paul says, "Oh, she doesn't look good."
Because he's a dick.
He's a pain. It's not really explored, and if we're gonna go ahead and get into the third act, she's actually dead. This is someone impersonating her in the interview.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely some extra textual, like maybe from the sequels or something.
Because Paul gets taken in one of the greatest jump scares of the movie, and when he comes back, he doesn't talk. He doesn't, he barely blinks. He's sitting and he's looking ahead, and that's it.
I want to talk about Paul's death because I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Paul has I don't know what to call it, but he has the moment of talking directly to the camera.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's 3 days still opening. Personally, I think we have no business being here.
That's actually,
And Alex is confident, and Sarah doesn't look great. And then I'm guessing it's later that night.
Yeah, he goes to bed and then he wakes up later.
He wakes up in the middle of the night, and there is one of those mannequin ladies just sitting there.
It's not a mannequin, I don't think.
Well,
it's like a demon lady. Because I don't think they have.
It's a something. It's a something.
It's a scary person in like a Victorian nightgown or something, with the demonic eyes that I love and I hate, and they're terrifying. They're awesome.
So, I just wanted to ask you one little question about relating to this scene. So, in a scary situation, would you rather look at it or not look at it? Because apparently Paul would rather conceal and not see it. And I know for me, I am not turning my back on any fucking thing. I need to keep my eyes on whatever it is at all times.
My instinct when I am scared is it's the I think it's the black bear that you're supposed to make yourself big. I have the black bear instinct, or at least what you're supposed to do if you meet a black bear in the wild. Do not take this advice because I don't know if it's the black bear or the brown bear. But for one of the bears, you have to get big, and that's what I do. I get loud. I make sure I have eyes on whatever I'm scared of, and I make sure that everyone is aware that I am here and I'm kind of scared. Whenever I'm like watching a movie Home Alone and I pause and I go to the bathroom, I start talking really loudly to myself because I just need to fill the space. So I definitely like take up space when I'm scared, and I don't want to turn my back on anything because that's when the naked moves. Yeah. It's the whole point.
So I think
Come on.
I think that's both like a natural response, but it's also a bit of a trained response as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that you would naturally do, but also something you've been taught, oh, this is something that's good to do in a dangerous situation, is to make yourself known, and it can actually help you. Fear responses are the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn responses,
I've just heard of fight or flight.
So fight is aggression, as a response to whatever you're scared of. Flight is run the fuck away. Freeze is you freeze, which is something that like
you don't move.
I think that's usually where I fall, is the like, okay, so if that demon girl showed up in my bedroom, I would not move, not make a noise, and I keep my eyes on her.
Yeah.
Is what I would do.
Yeah.
Fawn is the it's kind of the trying to pacify whatever it is. It's the like, it's the like, oh, can I please you, or can I give you something that will make you leave me alone?
Yeah.
It's the like,
that doesn't involve me dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can I give you? Take my money type thing.
I will give you whatever you want, just like leave me alone.
Okay.
And these are all psychological responses to fear and threats. And one person is not going to 100% fit into one camp, but I think it's interesting, especially when you're looking at characters, and if you're writing characters, of how does one person tend to respond in a certain scenario, and especially in a horror movie, it can be a good way to like distinguish characters. So maybe somebody like Alex gets defensive or aggressive, and maybe Sarah is going to like freeze up or retreat. And so Paul's being attacked scene, I guess I was gonna say death scene, but then I realized he doesn't die.
He doesn't die. He gets taken and he comes back like totally not a person.
Which
like
totally reminds me of Grave Encounters of Matt.
Oh yeah, yes. You're making a reference to a found footage film. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Yes, I have done a good job. Oh, I've done a good job.
I see parallels. That's what I try to do.
That's good. And now we get into the final scene.
So who picks up the camera now? Is it
Tony?
Does it change people now?
It does change. And actually, in the bar scene early in the movie, Paul is actually in front of the camera. It's like Tony or Mac recording. And I don't know, it's Tony or Mac. It's never Alex. I don't think it's never Sarah, really. So it's either Tony or Mac. They're the two most undistinguishable characters for me, because they're two tall white dudes with short haircuts. One of them's a ginger, and one of them's got dark hair, but I can't tell because it's always so dark.
All these white people starting to look the same.
Oh man, I think it's Mac.
Mac has the GoPro. He is like the GoPro cam.
Yeah. Well, I think he grabs the camera, and then the night of, yes, he does get a GoPro. Which I guess we're getting into the third act. I think.
I'm not sure who's holding the camera really matters at this point.
Not really. It really doesn't.
At this point, there's really no significance to that.
Yep. So
we have our little field. I want to go back to the field moment, which we kind of already talked about, but I wanted to
rant about it.
Not really, but like there's a lot. Thing is, there's a lot that I appreciate about that scene, and then there's the secret that really irritates me. But
Yeah.
otherwise, like, there's a lot that I appreciate about it,
Yeah.
which makes me more angry about the dumb writing choices. But I was like, I wish I knew the names of these characters because at this point I still don't know who is holding the fucking camera.
Oh, they probably set it down on something. I don't think anyone's holding the camera.
But like,
At least in the field.
because I was like, oh, here is a moment of human connection and an attempt at real communication.
True.
And it's also like a man going to support one of his friends,
Hell yeah.
which doesn't happen enough in general, and especially in these kinds of movies. Like, just a guy genuinely trying to check in on his friend. It reminded me of there's a scene in Blair Witch where when Heather and Mike, like, Heather sets down the camera and it's just her and comforting Mike.
Yeah.
And it's and it's also a very nice breather moment in both of those movies of taking a break from the conflict and the stress and the scares. It's a tactical decision, like, on for the filmmakers, because of course us as audience members, if you have us high strung all the time, then we're gonna, get acclimated to it. But if you let us relax for a minute, then you can prime us for the next scare. But also I appreciate, like, I appreciate having a break in tone and not maintaining the same throughout.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that about that moment. But I still didn't know what the fucking secret was, and I think it's a terrible writing choice. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Yep. Now, are we getting?
We can segue into Act 3. I think we can go to Act 3.
Alrighty. So when we're doing the opening night, again, we get footage from Mac's GoPro. We've got the original YouTube video. We've got the new stuff, but we also have a new tour goer video. And that gives us insight into what actually, well, it gives us a view on the basement. We don't know what happens, really. And that's one thing that frustrates me is it seems like there's a long stretch of time between what first happens in the basement and, like, stuff actually going down in the basement. Because clearly something happens that makes Joey run out. That makes, Melissa scream, oh my god, this isn't part of the show. And eventually it gets to, like, people dying. But it seems like there's such a long stretch of time. And for the rest of the connection in terms of, like, timeline between, one viewpoint moving into the house, one viewpoint going into the house, and when each different group or each individual of the Hell House team sees something happening. Other than that, it's pretty tightly, everything's pretty well connected. But that for me is just, you can see a hooded figure in the basement, but it's like, how was he did he just appear? And how long is he standing here? Because I think you could pull that off so much better. And I get you're trying to not, like, tell us what's actually happening, but it's just like, okay,
but
wait
it's kind of it's frustrating.
Yeah, because it's like,
look, you know me, I love things not being explained. However,
me too.
When I feel it seems like the whole purpose of this documentary and the point of this movie is to try to figure out what happened. And you correct me, but, like, that seems to be what the movie is building up to. What matters.
Yeah, it definitely, like, covers, like, what's happening at the hotel in the build-up, but yeah, what it's all revolving around is how did these people die, and what happened to the team?
And then it doesn't tell you, which I feel like which is frustrating.
Well, okay. For me, what happens to most of the team is closer to the line of, you're not telling me, but I'm having fun, and it, like, makes sense. But for me, the basement just doesn't make sense. It could be really scary, and it is scary. But, okay, clearly there's something that makes Joey run away. Something that causes him to say, let me get out. Yeah.
I want to stay on this, because...
No. What I'm saying is, like, yeah. No, I get what... I had a thought. That thought's gone.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm a bit of a film major. I'm a bit of a film scholar, which means sometimes I'm annoying, but it means that like when I'm watching something, I can usually pick up on what are the filmmaker's intentions rather than what they're just telling me. But through the way that they are doing their filmmaking, through all of, the decisions they're making, I can usually tell what they are intending for the audience to feel and what is important.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't expect a full explanation from this movie, but I did expect more than we got.
Yeah.
Because not to bring back Evil Dead, but like Evil Dead is the like you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but it does give us like a satisfying.
But
conclusion.
what you do know is that this person died. They now have a really weird demon face. And you now you have to dismember them. You don't know if dismembering them is going to do anything, but it could possibly prevent them from hurting you more.
Yep.
And also, sometimes they can look like the human form, and then they go back to their demon form. But okay, this person died. This person is now possessed. And now they are going to fuck my shit up. You don't know much else.
Yep.
Add something a little bit more solid. It still doesn't give you... It's not explaining much, but this is a situation where, like, no, they don't even tell me, like... They don't give me anything to work with. Like, I know spooky shit happens, but I still haven't... I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting from this.
Why are we running upstairs? Are we running from something? Are we... Yeah. There's...
Like, I can understand... I can understand the, like, okay, hordes of people running out. I can understand that. But I'd expect... Yeah, I expect, okay, there was something scary and the people are going to start running out. Okay, I got it. But it doesn't give me anything to work with in the actual basement. Nothing. It gives me nothing, which is frustrating. Because it feels like it's telling me it should be important.
Yeah.
I should stop now. I've gone on long enough.
Yeah.
They run up to the attic and Alex is dead?
He's hanging and he does die. And the guy who's holding the camera, I think it's Mac. He died. He did. He gets swarmed by cloaked figures. That's the
hooded
most
figures. Do not make eye contact with the hooded figures.
And then this is where...
And also he drops the camera, which is very Blair Witch.
Yep, he drops the camera. And it, like, ends up, like, showing the... It's like a nice shot where you see, like, out... Like, on the wall of the attic where you can see the lights from the emergency vehicles outside and the shadow from Alex's hanging body. And this is where we kind of go back to the interview. Sarah says that she got out of the house. She walks out of the house from the basement, from the attic, completely untouched, and walks out the front door. And police just get her out.
Thing is, like, I don't know where she was on that night, so, like,
Oh, did you... What?
Of course I'm gonna believe her, because I have no idea, like, where she was physically on that night.
She was in the attic.
Why?
No, she was, Wait, what do you mean you don't know where she was?
I'm saying nothing tells me that she can't just walk out and be okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
my issue. Is because, like, the movie isn't giving me any reason to question that she made it out okay.
Now, she does... Okay, so what happens is... during the interview, Sarah says, I need to go take a break. You can find me in this room 2C. And she says, oh, you should try to get inside the hotel if you can. So
Diane wants to get in the house.
Diane is the biggest idiot documentarian ever, and she gets her cameraman to go with her.
White girl shit. The whitest white lady shit. She's like, ooh, this looks fun.
Yeah.
I did have a note. I did write a note of Diane is Logan. Like, she would totally go into the haunted place, and she's like, oh, cool, the basement. We gotta go into the basement.
Oh, that's 100%. Damn it. That is me. Yeah.
But, so this is what Diane wants to do.
Yeah, but the person, Mitchell, going through the footage, finds out that Sarah doesn't get out of the house alive. Sarah dies. And Paul kills Sarah because he's possessed, and then he kills himself. But
Wait. Okay, so
Sarah.
the way this is revealed is a little bit out of order, and I
Yeah.
didn't exactly get it straight. So, yeah, explain it to me again.
So Sarah is in the attic when Mac and Alex die. She walks downstairs. Now the thing is, she picks up a camera from the wine room, not the camera that was in the attic. That is me being like, oh, this is something.
From the bar?
No, from the wine room, which is the wine.
Oh, the
room,
wine cellar?
The wine cellar. Yes.
Wine cellars are a motif, man.
Yeah. And when she's going back, she does pass by a hooded figure, and she's like, ah! But the figure doesn't do anything, just stands there. So she gets to the guest, or where the haunted house gets in, and this door was locked. It was locked. I think they figured out that it was locked when everyone was trying to get out. She finds Paul. Paul's, of course, not doing anything, and she runs and she hugs him, and then he grabs the camera and beats her to death. And the camera falls on the ground. We see Sarah covered in blood, and then she gets dragged away. And then we see Paul's feet as he cuts his own throat and dies. And then we go with Diane and her recording person, and they find Sarah in the hotel. She's sitting on.
I wanna backtrack a wee bit.
A wee bit.
Wee bit of Diane. Diane's walking around. Mitchell is following her with the camera.
Yeah.
And Diane's like, "Oh, this is spooky. We gotta go look at that." And Mitchell's like, "No, can we leave?"
Mitchell. Yeah.
She sees the basement and she's like, "Oh, we gotta go down here." And he's like, "Fuck that. No."
No.
Which is awesome.
Which, yeah.
I just think of that moment in Galaxy Quest. Oh, fuck that!
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Whatever character that is in the horror movie who's like, nope, no thanks, I'm out.
I am out.
And he's like, don't fucking open that door, because they find room 2C. And Diane's like, oh man, we gotta get in here. He's like, no, don't fucking open that.
No. And she does. And they find Sarah, and she's bloody. And then the door closes behind them, and hooded figures and death.
And then we play eerie piano music.
Meow 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 meow. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that video cameraman gets screwed over. He ends up in the second movie. We open the second movie. He's alive.
Mitchell?
No, not Mitchell. It's Jonathan. He ends up getting stuck in that hotel. He is running around this hotel all the time. He is getting screwed up. They're in the living room, in the dining. Basically, no, he's not time looped. He's stuck in the hotel and he keeps on running, trying to find a way out. And the demons are just messing with him. And they send videos of him screaming to his mother. And
that's fucked up.
Yeah, this dude dies a horrible death. And Diane dies and gets possessed. But that's dude.
Whatever.
Jonathan gets screwed over because his boss decided to be not a beep. I'm not gonna say that. But, what she says, don't be a...
You can say words here, it's okay.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to say it. Don't be a wuss. Because Diane didn't want to be a wuss.
Which is also, a dick move, so...
Yeah,
yeah, that's...
Yeah.
That... We gotta remember to do our spoiler warning, because we forgot again.
Oh,
But, okay, so there was a recent movie that came out called Until Dawn, and it was really... I thought it was effectively scary, me personally, because that's total... Until Dawn is a situation where it's a time loop, kind of.
okay.
Of if you... Okay, you go to this house,
Mm-hmm.
and you get hunted down and you die. And then you wake up at the beginning of that night, and there's something new that is going to hunt you down and kill you. And you keep dying.
That is mad.
In different ways, not in the same way. Because it's a place that is designed to keep you as scared as possible.
Okay, I gotta watch this movie.
I don't know if it's still in theaters, but
Dude,
I thought that was really a great way to like it has Gen Z protagonists, or people who
Yeah.
are around our age. And I know Gen Z, we're pretty depressed, and we're just like, like, oh, I would just kill myself or let myself die in that situation. But and also in a lot of those situations, I'm like, nope, I would rather die. I would
Then
rather
yeah,
go first and as quickly as possible.
yeah,
Thank you very much. The idea of having to die multiple ways, many times, sometimes in slow, excruciating ways, is really scary.
yeah,
So I thought that was pretty smart. So yeah, I'd be way more terrified of that like torture than just let me die.
yeah.
Just knock me out. I'll peace out.
So I mean, overall,
Let's say our.
as
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna do like a final review, I tout this movie as one of the greatest found footage films, um, behind Grave Encounters, Blair Witch Project, and Paranormal Activity. Because it with Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project, it's the fear of the unknown. You don't see much, but with Hell House, you see clowns and ghosts and demon
You
people.
see things, but it still doesn't reveal the monster to you.
Yes, but it's not
For
like
better or
oh,
for worse.
yeah, it's not. Here's the side of a bedroom, and then you hear a knock, and that's it. When I think there's a shot in Hell House where he's looking down the stairs with the camera, you know what could be down those stairs potentially: clown, demon lady, etc., etc. With Paranormal Activity, you don't know what's going on, but with Hell House, you do know, and it scares the heck out of you. So I do enjoy this movie a lot.
You watched anything good recently?
Highlight of what I've watched recently. I went through some found footage, Cloverfield, As Above, So Below. I'm not sure if that was before or after we recorded the Videodrome episode, but I did watch Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, North Korean found footage film.
You mean
Or
South
not
Korean?
North Korean. Yes, that's South Korean.
You can just say Korean, honestly.
Korean. It was great. It's entirely in Korean. I had subtitles on the whole time, but it was really good. How
We
about you?
watched everything with subtitles already, so.
Yeah, we're used to it.
The last thing I watched was 2002, The Ring,
Yep.
which I had not seen before, because I recently watched Ringu and Ju-on the Grudge, and I thought those were solid. So I am legally obligated to watch The Ring as well. I also saw Sinners again. Very good. There's just so much that can be said about Sinners. It's very dense, very layered. And like before that, I watched Brain Damage from Frank Henenlotter, which is totally just fun and tripping balls. As you do.
And that's all we've got for today, listeners.
Next up from the Horror Bros. The events portrayed in this film are all true. The names are real names of real people and real organizations. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this July 3rd, we will be visiting 1985's classic Return of the Living Dead.
Let's do it.
And we will be partying like the undead.
And that's all from us.
Stay spooky.